Morning, class. So today, well, I'm dressed in my gear, so it must be gardening class day. Let me step back here a little bit. So done some weeding to get things kind of, you know, started. And it's kind of amazing to think that it's been a year since the last time I weeded this and planted different plants in here. So, it's really good to be able to see, where we've gone. I mean, if we rewound all the videos all the way back to the beginning, it'd be interesting to see. But what I'm going to do today is we're going to do some gardening. I'm going to plant some things and let you know, again, during this time of year, what the best things to plant are. Like, because of the weather, because of, rain and things like that, and how much sun it can actually get, we want to know what's best to plant. So as I'm planting each one, I'll let you know the plant and let you know, well, some ideas that I might have for cooking with it at some point. One thing we got to make sure we have is our personal protective equipment. So gloves, really. This way, my watch will stay a little bit safer. That's why I got the long one. And it also keeps your hands safe, just in case there's any little thornies or something like that in there. All right, I've also got my Ori Ori, which is a wonderful tool that I'm sure you've seen before. But you can even see how far down you really want to go depending on what you're planting. It's also a great tool for weeding. You can really kind of cut down in between weeds and pop everything up and make sure that you get to the roots of the weed. And I might not need that much today. And then I have my trowel. This is what I'm going to use mostly. It's really good just for digging, just, a basic hole. That's all we really need. And then over here, we've got our plants. So, and the soil has been nicely repurposed. It's been raining. And the good thing about rain is it softens everything up and makes it easier to plant. When it's dry, like it has been, sorry, it is recycling day, so it might be a little noisy. But when it's the summertime and the soil gets dry, it's very difficult to weed. It's also very difficult to plant. So right now is a great time to actually do planting. So this is why we're going to do gardening class today. All right, we'll start with this one way back over here. And this is and I always keep the tags. Oh, this is pak choi. Oh yeah, you can use this for lots of different forms of cooking. Really, it's good when you kind of saute it, say in garlic and maybe some butter. Oh yeah, it's really good. All right, so let me get started. Get in planting position. Now there's 6 different ones here, so I have to be very cognizant of that. And dig around and just kind of get as much up as I can. And we'll just kind of do one at a time. Kind of plant them so that they're not right. We don't want it to be right next to anything else. And again, you just kind of not break, but loosen. And then hopefully they'll come out well. Only one way to find out. Definitely in there. And I don't want to hurt it. There we go. Once you get the first one, the rest usually kind of follow along. So I want to make sure that we get all the way around the plant. We don't want to smother it in soil, but we definitely want to make sure it's covered. And there we have one in there. So I'm actually going to plant one of each and tell you what they are, because each of these has 6 to plant. So, that would be a long time for you to watch. So I planted the first one of the pak choi. I'm going to put the tag here, just, in case anybody else comes in and steals the plant. So that's our first one of the pak choi. I will definitely plant the rest in a bit, and then I'll start the video again. Our next one here is arugula. Ooh, I love arugula. It's very peppery. It's like a spice. But it's really good with salads and things like that. And yeah, it's definitely a staple. Like most restaurants now, they always include arugula with their salad. So at some point, I'll be able to make a big salad, and arugula will give it that nice spicy taste to it. And it's not like habanero spicy, it's a different kind of spicy. It's a lot more mild, but still very good. So let's get our first one of the arugula settled in. And again, make sure that we have this here. Alright, next one, we're going to go over here. What do we have? Radicchio. Radicchio is going to be, that would pair really well with the pak choi. And I like the name Radicchio because it's ridiculously good, or radicchio good, if you like bad puns. Which I'm full of them. Here we go. Oh, this one's coming out a lot easier. Thank you, Radicchio. You're not as ridiculous as the other. There we go. First one of that is planted, and again we'll have the tag right there so that we know exactly what we planted. So this one is a Radicchio belliflora. This is Radicchio indigo, which is basically purple Radicchio. So we have 2 different types of Radicchio, which I'll take. And again, all these plants come from Annie's Animals, so if you get a chance to go there, I suggest you do. Pop this one out. Put it right in there. We got ourselves some more Radicchio. Now we do want to spread them out a little bit, just to make sure they all have space to grow. But so far so good. But I want to make sure that I keep everything with everything. Our next one here is a lettuce spring mix. So basically this is a nice salad. And I like salad, so. We're going to create a small space here. And again, it's a mix, so it's not just one. As you can see, all these other ones are very uniform. That means they look the same. Like same color, same tone, whereas this one is definitely a little more diverse. Ooh, some of it's falling apart. Some plants are easier to get out of this than others. Like the radicchio is very nice to me. Alright, and then we got our very last one. So again, we're going to keep that there. Our very last one is, it's got 2 tags. Oh, same thing. It's lettuce Marve. Um, this will pair really well with the spring mix for a salad. You know, get some different colors and put some of that arugula in there. I really want that. Sounds fantastic. But that's the wonderful thing about planting is once these are done, the beautiful thing is that after a while, you don't even realize how big they get, and then they just keep flowering and planting and getting bigger, and then you cut some off and it comes right back. So long as you water and maintain them the way we should. All right, so here we go with this one. I'm gonna set it in there. Like I said, we got now lots of opportunities for some wonderful salads and bok choy and radicchio for maybe even more of a full meal. All right. Well, I'm gonna plant the rest of these, and then I will be back for the very end. But I gotta take my gloves off in order to pause this real fast. But I'll see you in a bit. Hey, welcome back. So, as you can see, everything's been planted. And also one thing to notice is that the soil now, even from just, the time that it was for me to be out doing this, the soil's become dry, like I mentioned earlier. So usually the best part of the day to actually garden is to get up early. And the earlier you get up, just with the condensation from the cold at night, and then the sun comes out and starts to warm it up, then you will suddenly have, much more workable soil. But one thing that we got to do, and this is what you do every time, it'll be the last thing, but the one thing you want to do whenever you finish is you want to water them in, because right now the plants are in shock, which basically just means they've been transplanted from somewhere to somewhere else, and they're a little confused and a little scared. So what you do to comfort them in a way is to water them in. So, got my hose here, got it on the right setting, it's on shower, and then we're just going to water these in so they get a nice drink, and begin a nice start to, eventually to going into my sink. Water these, and the soil is very dry. Let's give them a good watering. Everywhere. And then since the sun is out, it's going to be nice because they'll be able to get some sun. This will dry up, but, the two main things plants need are sun and water. So now they have a good amount of both. And yeah, so that's been our gardening class today. Like I said, this is some good stuff to plant for this time of the year. And I hope you get a chance to get out there and garden a little bit. It's really fun. What I do need to do is, if you see all this netting, I need to close this. We built this with PVC pipe just to make sure we keep out the birds, because typically it's the berries the birds go for, but sometimes they'll try to get in here and eat the tomatoes and things like that. So we built this just to keep the birds out. Sorry, birds, you gotta find food somewhere else. All right, everybody. Well, I will see you later on. Ciao for now.